Hello, welcome to Storytime from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. The story we have for you today comes from Australia, and it is a lesson about how important it is not to be too proud. This is the story of why the frog can only croak. Every morning, Lyrebird would get up, and he would practice his singing. Now, Lyrebird was a very, very good singer. He could imitate the sounds of all the other birds. He could sing like the kookaburra, and he could sing sweetly like the bellbird, and he could boom like the cassowary, and well, he could just imitate everybody. And he liked to practice his singing. One day, as the lyrebird was practicing his singing near the river, he noticed something rather strange. There were a lot of bubbles in the river, and that happens sometimes. But one of those bubbles did not look clear and normal. It looked dark and a little bumpy. And as the lyrebird watched, he saw the bubbles begin to burst. And when the dark, bumpy bubble burst, out tumbled a little green frog. And the little green frog swam over to a lily leaf, and he climbed up on a lily leaf, and he puffed out his chest, and he looked around. And the lyrebird, he had never seen something quite so odd looking. It was a very strange little animal. And he went up to little green frog, and he said, "Hello, I'm the lyrebird. Who are you?" But little green frog just looked at him. And lyrebird said, "Can you sing?" The little green frog shook his head. "Can you talk?" Nope. Well, lyrebird thought that while this little creature was rather interesting looking, he wasn't very interesting to be with. He couldn't sing and he couldn't talk, and he just sat there and puffed out his chest. And so he was about to leave when he heard something, and he recognized it. It was the voice of the spirit of the Creator. And the spirit of the Creator said to him, "Lyrebird, this little frog is your brother. Teach him how to sing." Well, Lyrebird knew that the lore said that that all of the animals should share everything that they had together. And so he began to teach the little frog to sing. Now, Frog was a pretty quick learner, and it did not take much before he could sing almost as well as the lyrebird. He learned all the high notes, and he learned all the low notes, and eventually he learned how to sing all of the notes in between, and he could even throw his voice so that while he sat over here and sang over here, it sounded like he was over there, singing over there. And Lyrebird was delighted that the little frog had learned so well and so fast, and he sounded so good. And one day he said to him, "You know, I do believe you may be a better singer even than I am." And he invited all of the other animals to come to the stream and listen to little green frog sing. When the other animals came, they weren't very impressed. Little green frog didn't look like much. He was small, and he was dark and green and bumpy. But then he opened his mouth and he began to sing. And the other animals were very impressed. Not only could little green frog imitate the sounds of all of the other animals, he could also imitate the sound of nature, the sound of waves on the shore, the sound of the wind blowing through the trees, and the most beautiful sound of all, the sound of rain falling on dry, hard ground. Well, the other animals were full of praise, and they told the little green frog how well he sang and how beautiful it sounded and how much it sounded exactly like whatever he was trying to imitate. Unfortunately, that made the little green frog a little bit proud and full of himself. And so that night, after all the other animals had gone home, he climbed up onto his favorite lily pad and he started boasting. I can sing better than the lyrebird. I am the greatest singer in the world. The other frogs told him to quiet down and stop bragging. But he kept on saying, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. Well, the frog who was his girlfriend looked at him and told him that he needed to stop bragging now and be quiet. But he said, but I am the greatest singer. I can sing so well. I can sing so well that I could make the moon right up there in the sky. I can make the moon want to come down here and listen to me. Well, his girlfriend was a little bit tired of all of his boasting, and she said to him, really? Prove it. Let's see you sing so well that the moon comes down out of the sky to listen. And so the frog took a deep breath and he began to sing. And he sang so beautifully that all of the other frogs came out to listen. And the waterfalls listened in delight. And the wind paused going through the trees to hear the frogs sing. And the babooks screeched with their excitement. But the moon paid no attention. The next night, the little frog tried again. He sang louder and longer and even more beautiful. But the moon just kept sailing through the sky. And the next night, the frog tried again, singing even louder and more beautifully than he had ever sung before. And the moon just kept sailing through the sky. And so the next night, the little frog decided tonight he would sing as loud as he possibly could. And he began to sing to the moon as loud as he could. And suddenly, to his very great horror, his voice gave out. You see, if you sing for too loud, for too long, your voice will break and it won't work right anymore. And the little frog, he had sung too long for too loud, and he had broken his voice. He opened his mouth, but instead of a beautiful song, all that came out was a dismal croak. And from that day to this, when the moon is bright, you will find frogs coming out of the water and gathering together. But when they try to sing, all that either will come out is croak, croak, croak. And that is the story of why the frogs can only croak. It's a story from Australia. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back and join us again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. We'll be here from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois with another folk story from somewhere around the world. Have a great day. Bye.